Heather lives by her core message that when she trusts in magic, there is grace. This is the experience she is dedicated to share in her work with teaching others to tap into their divine source of light within. Ooh, yeah. She currently tours the U.S. working in healthcare while developing and caring for others in their own spiritual paths, providing coaching and workshops for breakthrough results in living a life full of grace. Ooh. She has spent her professional career bridging the gap between holistic and allopathic methods of healing. She has assisted in initiating and growing integrative programs to provide people with the direct experience of their own healing capacity. Ooh, this is good. Her personal development includes holistic nursing, yoga, and energy therapy, ontological coaching, not to mention the best teachings of overcoming everyday life triumphs. Oh my goodness. Heather, are you ready to come on?
I am ready.
Awesome. Well, you are now on the air. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know you're up to really, really big things in the world, empowering women, empowering people, healing people, or teaching people how to heal themselves kind of thing. And we are going to have a lot of fun on this conversation. I can tell. So thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Chris, this is amazing. Your energy is like 10 times more excited.
10 times more excited. Oh my gosh, you should have seen me at when I did those weekends. Oh my God, everybody would be like, this dude is like off the chains.
You're like too hot. I can't handle it.
For everybody who does
I'm getting hot over here.
Yes. Good. Burn it up, baby. Burn it up. Yes, for everybody who's wondering, we had a course that we've both done, a program, Landmark, and one of the trainings that they or one of the distinctions or practices is a thing called 10 times more excited, to be able to generate anything at any moment. And that's really, really powerful. I love that concept. So Heather, we're going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be a great conversation. So before we dive into, I would say, the meat of what you want to teach people, and maybe there's a lot of lessons in your story, in your past, but let's talk about where you've come from so people can get a little bit more connected with you and hear a little bit more about who you are and where you've come from, and then we'll get into where you're at today.
I probably came from another planet. That's
yes,
what it feels like
me too.
Actually, I might have an idea which one, but anyway, I just wanted to take a moment to Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm trying to be professional. So no, I just wanted to take a moment. But like, your title of this program is so on point, and thank you for like stepping out and like making that statement. First of all, I don't know, that just is like that we can grow and expand as human beings in a business and professional. Like, we can just do this and have fun. It doesn't have to be hard or difficult or arduous. Like, that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to play. We're meant to like bring our childlike instincts into the work that we do. So thank you for doing that and being an example and like really expanding that message to the world. So it's really an honor to be a guest on your show. Thank you. And I see like it's going amazing places. Like, this is just, like you said, the seed for all of us being our greatest possible self. Thank you. And thank you for the listeners today for tuning in to hear what I have to say. If it touches one person, like you said, I've done my job for the day. Anyway, even if it doesn't, just for me to like speak my truth is like so freeing. So thank you. Anyway, well, I actually came from the East Coast. I'm living here on the West Coast right now, and it's so beautiful. But I spent all my childhood and my adult life on the East Coast in Maryland, and did the traditional thing. I went to college. I was a good girl, and I got married right away and had 3 kids, beautiful kids, and a husband and the white picket fence, the whole 9, literally. Wow. And I was like, holy, am I allowed to like cuss on this show?
Yes, of course.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit, this is it? This is not it. What the hell am I doing? Oh my God. So anyway, a lot of things happened. I got divorced, and what started the whole thing was a book. And it had me start to look and stop and look within. And that was the first time I had ever really realized there was this whole nother world inside of me that was so much more exciting than everything else out there. Like, seriously?
Yes.
This is ridiculous. And ever since then, I've just been on this mad quest to figure out what is all this stuff that we're here doing in the world, and why are we here, and what is my purpose, and what is the meaning of life. So like all of these big questions is what gets me up in the morning and has me meditate and has me work with people and has me look for wonderment in all and everything that I do. Yeah, like lights me up. Yes. So that's what I'm here to share. And it's taken me down, many, many different avenues, many different paths to explore different types of therapies, different types of healings. What is really possible for us, and me being my greatest possible self. And how can I share my greatest possible self with whoever wants to hear, who's ever ready to hear what I have to share.
I'm ready.
So
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Let's go. So awesome. I love it. And thank you for the background. And tell us a little bit more about, you do nursing, you do holistic healing. Like, tell us how you got into that whole realm of things. You read a book, and then what happened?
Yeah. So I had been a nurse for like 10 years or so, and going into work and just feeling really empty and run down, and what they call in our profession burnout. And when I discovered yoga and meditation, I was like, wait a second, this is actually really healing. It was missing. It was missing in our healthcare system. It not only was missing in me, but it was missing in the work that I do. So it was like my experience was a mirror of what I was experiencing on the inside. So I gave up nursing for a while, opened a yoga studio for a while, so had that whole experience, and then went through a divorce and was totally knocked down, and had to use my own resources to pick myself back up. And I've never lost that fire or that desire to continue to do this work and to find my voice, really, to find my voice in where do I want to make an impact in the world? Like, how am I going to contribute? And all of these different places, it's taken me like 15 years to figure out, not even to figure out, but actually to arrive here. Okay, I'm getting closer to it. And I believe like that we never really get anywhere. We just keep getting closer and closer and closer into who we really are, and then we die. Yes. And we start all over again or something. Who knows? Or we go back to the planet where we came from.
Yes.
But yeah, so now I've been incorporating energy practices, energy healing. So things like Reiki and healing touch, which is developed by nurses back in the 70s. And then just taking all the pieces that I love and that resonate with me and creating my own sort of techniques and toolbox that I know to use because they've worked for me, so they resonate with me, and then I can share them like effortlessly. That grace that you were talking about, it's like, oh my God, I show up, there's magic, and then we both have grace. There's both an experience of grace. So, it's sort of like this conversation. It's like, oh, I finally get to have an audience to speak to. Yes. Because oftentimes when we're going through this path, right, on this path of whether you call it enlightenment or figuring out your vision, your message, your purpose, your mission, why you're here on Earth, it might seem cumbersome. It might seem like difficult. It might seem like you're going the wrong way. Like, when am I actually going to figure this thing out? And like you said, there's never really a place where you arrive. There's always a new mountain. Right now it may be, well, I'm working to get into this amazing relationship. Then you get there, it's like, okay, well, now I have this amazing relationship. How do I make it even better? One, or maybe I have other areas of my life like giving back in philanthropy or making more money or creating the ultimate lifestyle that I desire. There's always more to go. There's always another mountain to climb. So I really appreciate that. And
And we love the journey. We love it. We embrace it. We dance with it, right? We're in awe and wonder about what's next. Like,
Most of the time.
Show me, yeah, most of the time, right? Show me how it gets better than this. It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And every day is a new day to start again and refresh. And I've been doing a lot of Deepak Chopra's meditations recently, and the whole program is on being stuck. And one of the things he talks about is like one of the reasons why we get stuck is our bar is too low. And for me, it was like my bar is too high sometimes. Like I set my bar too high because I expect so much of myself, and then I get disappointed or discouraged. And that doesn't mean that everybody's like that, but like, you know, some of the times, like you said, well, this is great in my life. Let me raise the bar again and let's see what we can create from an inspired and like wondrous place where we're just literally being the creators of our life every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then being vulnerable enough to share when it sucks.
Amen. Because so many of us are trying to look good, right?
Yes.
Or avoid looking bad, and really, it's in embracing the humanity and like trusting that it'll all work out, and the people who are meant to hear and resonate with it and support us and help us along the journey, they'll be there. They'll be there
Right.
to listen to it, and the people who aren't, they'll fade away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just show up and be yourself. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how is it that you're actually impacting people's lives these days? I know you said you're healing, you've done nurse and the chakra. So what is it that you're focused on? What are you creating? Is there like a bigger mission that you're focused on these days that you're gung-ho about?
It's funny you should ask that question. So I have 3 grown kids, thankfully. Like I was on a mission to create that. And now looking back, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, but it's like, okay, that part of my life is done. And now I get to share more broadly, like really open up to how I can make a bigger impact in the world. So my circle of influence, you know, has expanded, and that also creates like another level of responsibility. And, so there's a lot of like unstableness and unsureness there. I don't even know the word I'm trying to find, but so recently I mean, over the last 5 years or so, I've known that I've wanted to make a bigger impact, and where has that going to come from? What is it going to do? And I'd been trying to like create things, and nothing would actually manifest. So this January, I was going to visit my kids, and arrived at the airport, and the Uber driver was right outside the door, and I opened up the door from the train station and like flew into his car, and I was like, this is the best day ever. You're like right there. Like, how perfect is this? It was literally magic. I was like, boom, Uber, boom, he's there. I'm like, yes, what is this? So I get into the car, and he's like, tell me all about it. So I'm sitting there, and he starts telling me about his last year in Isiolo, Kenya, where he's from. And I was like, oh my God, my daughter was just in Kenya like 2 years ago studying yoga. Like, what a coincidence, right? So he's telling me about his wife and his 2 kids that he just visited, and that he witnessed these men going by his house and carrying dead people behind his house to bury them. And so he stopped them one day and was like, what's going on here? And he said, these are women. They died in childbirth. And one of them he actually helped to bury because it was his good friend's wife and child. So I sat in the back of the car, and, you know, it was like my heart just exploded for this man. And all he wants to do now, because he witnessed this, is come back to this amazing country where he got his degree and create a possibility for these women in his community that don't know is available. Like, they don't even know it's possible that they could get a screening and possibly save their life. We have this amazing ability and capacity to help other people in this world. And so I just knew in that moment, like, I started crying, and I'm like, okay, let's go. We got to go do something about this. Like, I've been trained. I have the background. I know what's going. I didn't really know how bad it was there, to be honest. But I was like, yes, I want to help you. And he didn't even know that my best friend, who was a physician, a year ago, we put up a vision board. And this is a good testament to doing vision boards and like creating your goals and things that you want to do in the world. But we had written down, like, we wanted to do a clinic for kids and women in another country. Wow. Together. We had no idea where. Wow. And my daughter was going to get a pilot's license, and she's going to fly everyone around. That hasn't happened yet. But so she and I and this man, Adam, and this amazing midwife who's in Kenya, who's already been recognized by the United States as this leader in changing the healthcare system in Kenya, is on the ground doing the work and ready for us to come and just be a vessel, a channel for these women's voices to be heard, and really to raise awareness. Right now, 1 in 16 women will die in childbirth. That's what a woman would face if they got pregnant in this country. Here, it's 12 in 100,000.
Wow.
I never even thought I would ever have to worry about death when I got pregnant. Never even crossed my mind. It's not even a thought. So, we have a goal to reach 300 women, to screen them as a start, as a seed. We don't know if this is what is really needed or necessary. We're just showing up to find out. Yes. Right? So we're becoming aware.
Yes.
It's really the first step for transformation, as an example of transformation on any level, is awareness. So we're just going to share ourselves, the little bit that we know to do, some resources. We're going to connect with women and young girls who are menstruating, who typically drop out of school when they get their period because they have no way to care for it. I mean, they barely have food and water. How are they going to care for themselves when they're bleeding all over the place? So they drop out of school, and then they don't get educated. And so what do they have to do? They get married and they have kids. So then this cycle perpetuates itself. So this is what some communities are already doing. They're supplying reusable sanitary pads. So it's not something new and like amazing, but we're just expanding the outreach and making some type of small contribution. And so hopefully in the future, what we create is some type of self-generated, self-manned, like they get to create something that serves the purpose that they need, like some type of facility or whatever it is that they get empowered and inspired and connected and resourced the way that they need. So that's the vision. It's called Mobile Love. It's a 6-day mobile clinic in Isiolo County, Kenya. And right now it's a small team of us, and this is just the beginning.
So you said it's a 6-day, which means it's happening in the future, and you're going to go for 6 days and do it, right? When is it?
June 6th through the 12th.
Okay. Coming
up quickly.
Very quickly. And I know that you guys are also raising funds and donations for this, right?
Yep. So we have a crowdfunding generosity.com site. Okay. And I think you have the link there if somebody is interested in contributing. And
I do have the Thunderclap link, so I can post that one up.
And it'll connect to that main site too. Yeah.
Cool.
So they could donate, and or what is also really helpful is if people don't want to make a financial contribution, they can contribute their connections, which is just as valuable. Yes. Even maybe more valuable. So Thunderclap is a great platform that I've just discovered from a friend. It's like a social media flash mob. So 100 people register, and on May 18th, bam, it goes viral to everyone's networks. So I think we're at like almost 200,000 contacts right now.
Wow. So real quick, for everybody who's listening, who's out there in the audience, I just posted up the link, the Thunderclap link. And what you can do is share this link on your wall, on your social media, in your emails, whatever. If you believe in this cause, if you feel like this is worthy, which it absolutely is, and you want to help Heather, you want to help these women out in Kenya and these young girls get a new future, even if I highly recommend doing cash donation. Joe just did a cash contribution to your campaign, so great job, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Joe's a rock star, and in addition, you can make a difference just by posting it up, just by going to that link and signing up. And I believe it'll do like you said, a flash mob, a mass announcement on the day of to make sure that there's enough awareness for it, right?
So actually, they don't even have to post the link themselves.
Okay.
All they need to do is click the link.
Yep.
It'll give them the option to connect whatever social media platform that they choose. Mm-hmm. And then they could put a little message on the top if they want to, or nothing, and then just click OK. And then it takes care of it for them. So they don't even have to do anything else.
Beautiful, beautiful. So do that right now. Take the time. Heather and I will wait. Heather, don't say anything for another 3 minutes while these people go do that. No, I'm just kidding.
We can meditate for 3 minutes.
Yeah, right. But seriously, do it right now so you can contribute. That's a really great way that you can take action, be proactive. Because one thing that I love about you, Heather, is that you recognize that you have a voice, that you make a difference, that you are a contribution towards a cause. And a lot of people in the world feel like they don't have a voice. Feel like, well, what difference can I really make? And you even said, you're like, there's already other organizations that are already doing it, but hey, this is just even more expansion. This is even more of the ripple effect that, like, you are putting yourself at stake, on your butts on the line, that this happens. You gave your word. You said this, I declared that this is going to happen, that this is going to be a problem or a challenge or a perceived problem that gets attention, that gets support, that, a difference is being made in. And I feel for everybody who's out there listening, if you want to develop your own voice, whether that's sharing your message with the world, maybe it's like Heather's, maybe it's completely different, and you want to do something else, right? You're an advocate for animals, or you're an advocate for sex slavery, or whatever is important to you. Start recognizing that by helping others, by taking action towards others' dreams, and doing something as simple as posting something up or signing into something so that it will post something on the day of, like doing something as simple as that, shows the universe that there are people who are willing to support you. Because if you are someone who's willing to support others, then others will be attracted to your cause as well. So that's really important, that you show the universe that there's an abundance of people, that there's more than enough people. Speaking of which, you are enough, and the world is enough. That's what we're going to be getting into as well. So just really know that your voice makes a difference, and that you do make a difference. So if you still haven't clicked that link, go freaking click that link right now and do it. And Heather, let's dive into this topic about being enough. Unless you had something else that you wanted to say on that. Any other comments?
Yeah, actually, thank you for adding to that, and the difference that even one click could make. And I sit back and I'm like, I know that I would click a link. Anyway, I don't want to go down that road. But what I wanted to share was a quote by Goethe,
okay,
who I studied a lot in like spring break in like this English class, and I couldn't figure out why, but now it makes sense. But his quote is like so my message, and his quote is, "Whatever you think you can do or believe you can do, begin it. Because action has magic and power in it." And grace.
And grace.
Grace. It's like, what?
Wow.
Like, all we need to do is take inspired action, like one step in front of the other. As soon as I said yes, and then we had a meeting, it was like one thing after another. We don't have to know. Like, you're slammed in the head with the be in the now and you'll know how. In yoga classes, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't really get it until you actually take a risk in your own life. Wow. And, I was just looking for something like this to hit my heart and say, okay, yes, I know that I want to put something at stake here. And, like having conversations like this, it's really keeps inspiring me to take the next step further. And reaching out to people and sharing my message. And it has you be like on the edge of your seat and alive in your life.
Yes. Like
what greater gift is that? I get to help people, and that's not like The side effect is I get an amazing life.
Yes.
So
yes.
anyway.
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. And I appreciate the fact that you recognize how powerful you are. And just coming on here and sharing your message is inspiring people, right? Regardless of how many people or whatever hears it and however many take action, doesn't matter. You recognize that just voicing it, sharing it, getting it out to the universe keeps it alive in you and has you experience this feeling of aliveness, of being more than just, I'm just this little person. There's something more.
Yeah.
There's something more at play here going around all of us, and like powering the life, right? And it's awesome to see that, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's dive into this conversation about the world being enough.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue, because if we don't really trust that we're enough, then how are we going to actually believe that we're going to go out there and make a difference in the world? So on some level, taking a risk on yourself is actually having you have the experience that you are enough. So, and like you were saying, like, there is more than enough. There actually, for me, my understanding is like, there's not more than enough, because then that would assume that there's not enough, because then there's more, right? So my interpretation is actually there is a perfect amount. It's just whether or not we recognize it, that it's there. It's like lifting the veil and saying, oh my God, like, all I have to do is speak out into the world that these people need help, and the help will be there. It's like ask and you shall receive. We're just asking now. I wasn't asking before. Right?
Yes.
And then trusting in the magic that it will show up. I don't have to know that. I don't have to know the why or the where or the how. I just need to make the request. And so maybe this is what's missing for everyone. Trusting in their own magic that they are, in their own light, that they can attract whatever it is that they're asking for.
Because how the world is right now, let's like get a view of current affairs, right? Is that we live in a world where most people feel like there isn't enough. There's a lack of trust, right, in ourselves and in the universe, in God, that things will work out. There's a lack of faith that things are always happening for us and in line with us, and things are always lining up, like things are always happening perfect timing. Like people are complaining about that it's not the way they want it to be, and so that perpetuates that reality. So what we're creating right here is a conversation that's the total opposite of that.
Yeah, and there's a gratitude piece in there. That has been a huge shift. It created a huge shift in my life, is starting every day. And thanks to Hal Elrod and Julie
Miracle
Riesler.
Morning. Yep.
I've always known attitude of gratitude, right? But really implementing it into your life, like having the commitment to spend time to literally think about the things that you're grateful for, that you already have. It shifts everything. Your vibration, your ability to attract the things that you actually already are appreciative of. And so I don't know what other parts of the world and other people who don't have what they want are actually grateful for or not. But it seems to me that the people who are grateful for what they have are getting what they need.
Yeah.
Or they have enough.
Yeah.
Because you're recognizing that you already are enough. Right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be grateful for the things that you have.
Wow. So the act of practicing gratitude in itself means that there is enough. Because to be grateful is like exactly how things are, exactly the way they are, whether my table is full of food or not. I have a table, I have a roof, I have a body, I have the ability to eat. Yeah. Like just by practicing gratitude is like telling the universe that there is enough. Yeah,
exactly. It's a declaration, like you said, of that everything is okay and everything is perfect. And I'm so grateful to be alive to experience it.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's one little tip and tool.
And you mentioned that you start your days with gratitude. Is that like how do you practice it? How do you remind yourself? So some practical, real world stuff that people can do today. They can walk away after this interview with more gratitude or practicing that. What would you recommend?
So you can have a journal. I mean, it doesn't have to be a special journal. I purchased a special journal. Part of that was so that I could make a contribution to something and feel accountable to it. Like you were talking about having accountability partners. So it already has a space in the bottom. It's Danielle Laporte's daily planner, year planner. And it's about planning your life around your desires. So in the bottom, it has a little section for gratitude every day. So I write 4 or 5 things down that I'm grateful for and why. So it's just not like, well, I'm grateful for this cup of tea, but really because I love the taste and it makes me remember like I'm connected to nature, or, it has you in that emotional feeling sense of gratitude, which helps you expand your ability to attract more.
Yes. And the why is so important because so many people are going around taking the actions, but they are not connected to the why they're doing the actions, and they're not experiencing the results.
And I think, you can take that into your life too. Like for me to express gratitude for this and why, like why I get to share my voice, like that has me connected to my emotional body, which sends a force like through my heart that we know is a lot stronger than anything we can think.
Yes.
Exponentially. Yes. So the more and more we can do things to have us feel grateful in our heart and connect us with each other and then be able to express it is like, it's magic.
Yes. This interview is freaking magic. I love it. So we have some comments. Got people who are loving it. Mike says, please tell me the recording will be available to watch later. We have Luis who says, amazing lady. We have
Aww.
Luis again who said, this is really uplifting and inspiring. And then we have Mike who said, if you had to pick one thing that makes the most difference for you in your day-to-day ritual, what would it be?
Oof. Meditation. For sure. Yeah.
Amen.
And so I'm a mother-baby nurse, and I've been doing, yoga teaching and teaching meditation to hospital employees and patients and all kinds of people, right? And one of the biggest things is the misconception in the amount of time that people need to meditate, and also what it is to meditate. But we won't go into that rabbit hole.
Yet.
But so yes, maybe next time. Yes. I am a mother baby nurse, so I teach a lot of people how to breastfeed. And so just like a child gets nurtured, we get nurtured by spending time with our inner world. And that is our direct line to, universal consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it. I call it God. And if we take time each day to tune in to that spaciousness, that spirit side of ourselves expands. And what's most impactful, if I can get this one message across, is the frequency, not the duration. You can have the intention to sit in your car before you go into work in the morning for 30 seconds and have the intention to connect with God, to connect with your truth, and that will shift everything for your entire day.
Wow.
Like 30 seconds is all it takes, but your commitment to recognizing the truth of who you are, it doesn't matter how long you sit. I mean, you can sit for 60 minutes and be pissed off. That's not going to do any good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's the intentionality and the attitude again that you bring to whatever it is you're doing. So I recommend frequency, like once a day, forever. How long you can do, make it manageable, make it fun. Like, oh, I'm just going to sit for a minute. Okay, I can do that. Sometimes the first time feels like an hour, but It really is a minute.
So meditation, I know we didn't say we were going to go down this rabbit hole, and I want to just make a quick distinction or see what your opinion is. Meditation could be seen as letting go and releasing thoughts and just being at peace, and it could also be meditating with an intention to create or attract or to be something. Is there a right way or a wrong way, or something that you'd recommend in terms of like if you have a desire, then and you always want to be attracting that desire, then meditate like that. Meditate with focus on that. Or if you're trying to get to peace and tranquility, then focus on releasing and letting go. Is there any insight around that?
Jeez, dude, there's like so many ways to meditate. Like there's as many ways to meditate as there's bacteria in your gut. I mean, seriously. I think that I've spent a lot of time dabbling in different types of meditation. Buddhism, to the kind that you can just download on your phone, to just sitting in silence, to like pranayama, like all types of meditation there. I think that what is important for people to do is to try them for yourself, because different ones will work for different people. There is no one right way, wrong way. It's literally like religion. Like there's a million ways to practice your relationship with God, or how you're going to exercise. Like do what's fun, do what speaks to you. Don't make it harder. Life is hard enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to go sit and meditate.
You got to
like,
sit. You can't open your eyes. You can't move. You can't do anything.
No.
You have to do it this way.
Right. I mean, sometimes I'll just sit in my bed and meditate in the morning when I get up and just like, that's really great. And like sometimes I'll just sit like this. I don't have to have a spine upright. Sometimes I like to, but yeah, like we're meant to have fun and be joyful. So I think that's my intention.
Yeah.
So
how do you create fun and joy in your life?
Laugh.
Yes.
You know, I think it's really like making fun of myself, making light of whatever is happening, and just being honest about it, really. And then, you know, choosing to spend time with people who also light me up, like laugh. Like I enjoy having a conversation with you. It's easy and fun. I think that gravitating to those places where you feel most alive and joyful is a conscious choice, and we can choose to spend more time in those places or not. So every time I choose joy, that I'm not disappointed. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to keep putting myself in places where I know that I have fun. Wow. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's isn't life so simple though? And we tend to make it. It's people, not us. People tend to make it more complicated than it needs to be.
I can be complicated at times. It's not all joy and roses.
Not me, no. I'm just kidding. I totally get it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there's people out there who are listening right now who want to share their message and who want to experience this enoughness, and they haven't found the ability to, and they know about meditation, do you have any guidance on what you would do to get there? Any practices, people you'd recommend studying, things to look into, that kind of thing?
I think it's, you know, it's probably starting with creating some awareness with what's actually going on inside, like what's really running the show. And then just really getting honest about what stories that we have running in our minds. Because a lot of times we get caught up in them, and we go down old patterns of being, ways of being that has us have the experience that we aren't enough over and over again. And then I think also surrounding yourself with people who get it, that there is enough and that you are enough, and helping you to remind you that you're enough. I don't know if there's any books or resources on enoughness out there. There might be, that I could point people to.
Looks like you're going to be the next one.
but I'm happy to share the truth with people. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, they could definitely reach out to me. We could have a coaching call.
Yeah.
I also, if I could share now,
Please.
have a retreat coming up in
Yes.
October.
Yes.
It's always been a dream of mine to visit Indonesia and Bali, and we have lined up an amazing 7-day retreat in Tiger Island, which is a private island off the coast of Jakarta. And it's a very rustic yet quaint little location where we can do amazing, beautiful work inside while the amazing, beautiful nature surrounds you. And we're doing yoga and meditation. We're doing some discovery work like this so people can really get connected, and use and develop some tools for them to really to bring their light, the spark that they feel inside, the beauty that they experience while they're on the retreat, while they're on vacation, like take that back and live brightly in your life, like to your workplace and to your family. And, instead of going out away to disconnect, go away to connect.
Yes. Yes.
Like we're just flipping the switch on vacationing here.
Yes. Right. Right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like vacations when you go somewhere to experience yourself, right? To get back, to get grounded, to get back to your roots, to remember what it's like, what it's all for.
Yeah.
Why am I working so hard back there? Oh, that's right, because I'm discovering myself, because I'm developing myself, I'm evolving myself. It's fun to grow and learn and strive for that perfection, even though we're already all perfect, right?
But yeah, so we want to share ourselves with other people. And, I think what will evolve from this this is our first one, but is a community of people who are committed to living this way, living vibrantly, living their truth, and not being not afraid to like have I am happy, marathon. Like let's live joyfully.
Yes.
So being connected to that group of people will create community around this and support. And so it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me to do it alone. And it's really like, how much are you going to invest in your own light, in your own well-being, in your own aliveness, and then creating the structures in place to have that be alive for yourself after you leave. Like we can keep this connection going and the reminders that we experience together.
Wow. So how do people sign up for that?
So they would go to heatherbkeller.com/lightmeup. And I think you have the link. And there is an introduction to me and co-teachers, Nathan McCullough and also Alex Shiraki. So we'll be doing some Kundalini yoga, which is an amazing practice to have people connect to their interconnectedness to God. And then we're also going to do fun things like snorkeling in the beautiful water, and the cabins are like open air. So you'll be right there next to the water. Like you'll be so secluded that you're going to have a hard time being distracted except by nature. But so, and lovely food, organic food. And we'll be doing a nature give back program where we're going to do some replanting of coral. Wow. So there's all kinds of like different activities, not going to be just like yoga, meditation, and
right.
So
I love that about the nature give back, because I heard someone say that if you plant a seed today, it shows the universe that you believe in tomorrow, right? You believe that we're creating tomorrow, and I think that's really special. That's awesome.
You're gonna make me want to go home and plant a seed tonight.
Maybe you should.
We have a whole big bed, like waiting. It's waiting for seeds. It's been like that for months.
Never too late to start.
Yeah.
So we also have we had Scarlett Ray. I don't know. I don't think you know her. She said, "I'm a single mom to 2 toddlers. I have no family. I've struggled with homelessness. I am incredibly inspired by your story. I'd love to connect to talk more, but my biggest questions would be, how did you make life work when things were the toughest? And also, Where did you begin to physically manifest living the life you loved and doing the things you loved, including making income? It's powerful.
What's her name again? Scarlett?
Scarlett Ray.
Oh, hey, Scarlett. Thank you so much for having the courage to ask that question. I would be happy to speak with you. We can set up a call, a 30-minute call. We can discuss things further. And I think that the step that you just took was the first step. And the most courageous step.
Wow.
And all you need to do is take the next step and things start shifting. And like creating that intention for having the life that you know that's available for you and your children is all that you need to hold on to right now. And then look for the signs of hope. There'll be like this conversation, like me saying yes to a telephone call. Keep looking for those signs of hope and move in the directions of those small little signs. Just be open your eyes every time you have a conversation in your head that something's wrong or your fears or your doubts are coming up. You take a deep breath. You remember who you are. You breathe light in and you say, no, I'm choosing something better and I'm going to choose to see the little signs of hope.
Wow. It's incredible.
It's like dropping the little crumbs,
Right,
crumbs
and you don't
on
have
the
to
trail.
You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the next step. And I think that's beautiful. And she said her name on Facebook is Scarlett Ray, but it says my real name is Courtney Wubbles. And she said, yes, I'd love to chat. So I'm sure you guys will make that happen after this. And you also mentioned about saying yes to a phone call, which is how we got connected. And you advocate coaching because you coach people and teach people about yoga, and then you're also receiving help from a coach, a good friend of ours, Joe Nicasio. How's that experience going?
I was going to talk about that if we had time, but like you said, having an accountability person. I know for me, every time before the coaching call, I have anxiety come up. And I'm like, oh God, here it goes again. Like, and it's, it's all of my crap.
Yeah.
It's all of my shit coming up.
Yeah.
Because I know a conversation with someone who sees your greatness is priceless.
Yes.
Is priceless.
Yes.
And if we can just have the courage to show up and say yes, it's just like, it's miraculous. So if anyone is considering coaching, with me or with anyone, it has been the most beneficial experience of my life in who I really am and what I really can accomplish. Wow. Because I used to be a cheerleader when I was high school. Everybody needs a cheerleader.
Yes.
Everybody needs a cheerleader.
Yes.
Even the greatest people out there have cheerleaders.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
Because everyone is confronted with themselves and everyone needs to see the truth. And we always don't see the truth about ourselves all the time. And we always can do more than we think we can.
Yes. And I highly recommend you somehow use this in your marketing to your advantage. But what you said, a conversation with someone who sees your greatness is priceless. I wrote it on the comments, so definitely go back and put it on a meme and then dash Heather B, right? Do that. That's gold.
Thank you.
And then we have
Sweet.
Adela who says, so true. Heather, you're amazing. Love you. You got a fan club on this thing, girl.
Oh, Adela. She's amazing. The great thing about being a coach and coaching other people is that you get to see your amazingness in other people.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
And they're like a reminder of who you really are and what you're really able to accomplish. So, I mean, it's the greatest gift in the world. Amen. To be able to see people shine.
Amen. So Heather,
right?
Heather, let's begin to wrap it up. What do you want people to walk away with? Remind us if you've already said it, and let's really call to action on the thunderclap and the retreat. Let's bring it home, baby.
So yeah, I think that the biggest thing is being grateful for this opportunity to speak my voice, like you said, and being a voice for other people who have not been heard yet. And sometimes the voice is this voice. So if your voice is actually calling to you right now and saying, please, it's a whisper. And sometimes that whisper needs to be heard by another person because this noise up here gets too loud. And so if you're looking for someone to like help you hear the whisper, reach out and make a commitment, make a commitment to that connection and you will never be disappointed. Right? Like to connect to your own truth and your aliveness, you'll never be disappointed. So, yeah, people can reach out and have a 30-minute phone call with me. Just, connect with me on email. Also, you can get the retreat for October. There's plenty of time to plan. We have payment plans that we can create together. So it's just another opportunity to stay connected. And I'd love to be able to be your cheerleader.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. What an interview. What a power-packed hour. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh,
Heather.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Heather, thank you for everything that you are and everything that you're standing for and the voice that you are for the world. Not only the voice that you're speaking, but the demonstration that everybody does have a voice. And for everybody who's out there listening, whatever you want to accomplish or achieve, there's no dream that's too big or too small. And it's time, if you've been stuck in your head, to get out of your head and find someone who believes in you, maybe even more than you believe in yourself. And connect with those people. And that's exactly what we're doing here at the I Am Having Fun Marathon. You, Heather, are a great example, a great role model. So everyone, connect with Heather. Follow her on social media. Go to her retreat. I freaking make my mouth water just hearing about it. I want to go.
You want to come? Yes. Bring your fire.
Yes. Woohoo. So I hope you have the best day ever. And thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here, and hopefully we can see you back on another marathon in the future. And I'm excited to hear about your progress and growth and all that good stuff. Okay.
Thank you so much for expanding my voice, and I really had a great time and had fun.
Yes, a lot of fun. All right, Heather. We'll see you.
Awesome day. Okay,
Take
bye.
care.